January 2025 kicked off with a bang as Winter Storm Blair swept across the U.S., impacting over 62 million people. Kansas and Missouri were first to feel the storm's icy grip, but it quickly spread east, blanketing Arkansas, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia. The storm brought a mix of heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain, transforming cities into winter wonderlands, then into hazardous zones. Emergency crews scrambled as the storm's size and variety made response efforts incredibly challenging. Schools and businesses closed, daily life halted, and officials urged everyone to stay off the roads. For many, the storm revived memories of past disasters, adding stress to already vulnerable communities. From the start, it was clear, Winter Storm Blair was a major event, testing the resilience of everyone in its path. The stage was set for a battle against one of the most disruptive winter storms in recent memory. The science behind Blair was a recipe for chaos. Arctic air from Canada collided with Gulf moisture, creating a battleground for extreme winter weather. This clash of air masses set the stage for a storm system that meteorologists would later call historic. As the cold, dense air surged southward, it met warm, moisture-laden winds from the Gulf of Mexico, fueling a volatile mix that would soon unleash its fury across the heartland. Snowfall totals of 6 to 12 inches were common, with some areas buried under even more. In certain towns, drifts piled up against homes and businesses, making roads impassable and trapping residents indoors. The relentless snow transformed familiar neighborhoods into frozen landscapes, where every surface was blanketed in white. But the real danger was ice, up to 3/4 of an inch in places like Kentucky and West Virginia, enough to snap trees and power lines. The weight of the ice brought down branches and left thousands without electricity, forcing families to find warmth wherever they could. Streets became treacherous, coated in a slick, invisible layer that made every step a risk. Fierce winds gusted up to 50 miles per hour, creating blizzard conditions and whiteouts that made travel impossible. These howling winds sculpted snow into towering drifts and reduced visibility to near zero, stranding motorists and halting emergency response efforts. The relentless gusts battered homes and businesses, testing the endurance of everyone in the storm's path. Wind chills plunged below zero, raising the risk of frostbite and hypothermia. Even a few minutes outside could be dangerous, as the bitter cold seeped through layers of clothing. For the homeless and those without heat, the storm's cold was not just uncomfortable, it was life-threatening. Thundersnow, a rare phenomenon, lit up the skies in Kansas, Missouri, and Illinois, signaling intense snowfall rates. The crack of thunder and flash of lightning in the midst of a blizzard was both beautiful and unsettling, a reminder of the storm's raw power and unpredictability. Blair's combination of snow, ice, and wind was relentless, paralyzing entire regions and pushing emergency services to their limits. First responders worked around the clock, rescuing stranded drivers and delivering supplies to those cut off by the storm. Communities banded together, but the scale of the disaster was overwhelming. For millions, the storm was both a scientific marvel and a real-world nightmare. Meteorologists tracked its every move while families watched anxiously from their windows, hoping for the worst to pass. The beauty of the snow was undeniable, but so was the danger lurking beneath its surface. The country braced for the long, cold days ahead, knowing that recovery would take time and resilience. As Blair moved on, its impact would be felt for weeks, a stark reminder of nature's power and unpredictability. Blair's heavy snow and ice triggered massive power outages, over 100,000 in Virginia, 84,000 in Kentucky, and 50,000 in West Virginia. Entire neighborhoods were plunged into darkness with streetlights flickering out and homes left eerily quiet except for the howling wind outside. For many, the sudden loss of power was both disorienting and frightening, as the familiar comforts of home vanished in an instant. Without electricity, homes quickly lost heat, forcing families to bundle up and rely on fireplaces or wood stoves if they had them. Some gathered in a single room to conserve warmth, while others layered on every blanket and coat they could find. The cold crept in relentlessly, making even simple tasks, like getting out of bed or preparing a meal, a challenge. Utility crews became heroes, braving blizzard conditions and dangerous roads to restore power, often working around the clock. Their efforts were nothing short of extraordinary, as they navigated fallen trees, icy wires, and treacherous conditions to reconnect communities. Many worked through exhaustion, driven by the knowledge that every repaired line meant warmth and safety for another family. The outages rippled through communities, gas stations, grocery stores, and water supplies all affected. With roads blocked and businesses shuttered, people faced empty shelves and dwindling resources. Water towers froze, and some towns issued boil water advisories, adding another layer of hardship to already difficult days. The storm exposed just how dependent we are on the grid, and how quickly daily life can unravel without it. The hum of modern life faded, replaced by the crackle of fireplaces and the quiet determination of neighbors helping neighbors. For many, it was a harsh lesson in the importance of emergency kits and backup plans. Flashlights, batteries, and canned food became lifelines, and families learned the value of being prepared for the unexpected. The cold was relentless, but so was the determination to endure. People shoveled paths through waist-deep snow, checked on elderly neighbors, and shared what little they had to help others get by. Blair's blackout was a stark reminder. Winter storms are about more than just snow. They're a test of survival, resilience, and community spirit. The storm's aftermath left behind not just broken branches and stranded cars, but stories of courage and compassion. Communities pulled together, waiting for the lights and the warmth to return. Shelters opened their doors, neighbors shared hot drinks, and strangers became friends in the face of adversity. The struggle against the cold became a defining story of the storm, a testament to the strength and unity that emerges when the world outside turns unforgiving. Blair brought travel to a standstill, over 1,800 flights canceled, and thousands more delayed as airports across the region struggled to cope with the relentless snow and ice. Runways disappeared beneath thick drifts, and de-icing crews worked around the clock, but the storm's intensity was simply too much. The sight of grounded planes lined up on the tarmac became a symbol of the storm's power, halting journeys before they could even begin. Major airports shut down, leaving thousands of travelers stranded for hours or even days. Terminals transformed into makeshift hotels with people huddled under blankets, using their luggage as pillows, and anxiously checking their phones for updates. For many, the uncertainty was overwhelming, as they waited for any sign that the storm might let up. Meanwhile, outside the airports, the situation on the roads was even more dire. Snow, ice, and howling winds made driving nearly impossible. State police and transportation officials pleaded with the public to stay home, but not everyone could avoid the roads. In Missouri alone, hundreds of crashes and thousands of stranded motorists overwhelmed first responders. The National Guard was called in to rescue drivers trapped for hours in freezing cars, bringing food, blankets, and hope to those caught in the storm's grip. Highways became endless parking lots, with vehicles at a standstill, and even emergency vehicles struggling to get through the deep snow. Blair's power was felt not just in the relentless snowfall, but in the eerie silence of grounded planes and the frustration of immobilized travelers. Empty roads and deserted city streets told the story of a region brought to its knees. The message was clear. When nature unleashes its fury, even our most advanced technology and best-laid plans can't compete. In moments like these, survival means staying put, waiting, and respecting the awesome force of the storm until it finally passes. As Blair intensified, governors in 7 states declared emergencies, unlocking resources and mobilizing the National Guard. These declarations allowed for rapid response, closing highways, opening shelters, and coordinating rescue efforts. Leaders urged residents to stay home, emphasizing the risks and the need for caution. In Washington, D.C., federal offices closed, reducing traffic and helping road crews work more effectively. Emergency management teams worked around the clock, setting up command centers and dispatching resources. The swift, coordinated response was crucial in minimizing the storm's impact. Official warnings and clear communication helped keep people safe and informed. Blair's arrival was met with decisive action at every level. Amid the hardship, Blair revealed the best in people. Neighbors with snowblowers cleared entire blocks, teens shoveled walkways for free, and rural residents checked on each other. Social media became a lifeline, connecting those in need with those who could help. Even zoos closed to the public, with staff camping out to care for animals through the storm. These acts of kindness made a real difference, especially for the vulnerable. The warmth of community stood out against the cold, proving that resilience is built on human connection. Blair's legacy wasn't just about the storm, it was about the compassion it inspired. In the darkest days, people came together, showing that kindness is the true silver lining. Preparation is key. Have an emergency kit with food, water, flashlights, and a radio ready before storms hit. Conserve heat by closing off unused rooms, blocking drafts, and dressing in layers. Never use ovens or grills for heat. Carbon monoxide is deadly. Stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. If you must travel, keep a winter kit in your car and stay with your vehicle if stranded. Run your engine only briefly and keep the exhaust pipe clear of snow. Shoveling snow is hard work. Take breaks and check on neighbors, especially the elderly or those with health issues. A simple phone call can make a big difference. By planning ahead and looking out for each other, you can weather any storm. Blair showed that safety is a community effort. Preparation and care save lives. Are storms like Blair becoming more common? The answer is yes. Climate change is making extreme weather more frequent and intense. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, fueling heavier snow and rain when storms form. The jet stream is also changing, causing storms to linger longer and hit harder. Blair's slow, powerful crawl was a textbook example of these new patterns. Climate change is amplifying winter storms, making preparation and resilience more important than ever. Addressing the root causes, reducing emissions, investing in clean energy, and building resilient infrastructure is critical. The science is clear. We must act now to protect our communities. Blair was a warning and a call to action. The future depends on what we do today. As Blair faded, recovery began. Snowplows cleared roads, utility crews restored power, and neighbors helped each other dig out. The storm tested our infrastructure and our patience, but it also revealed our resilience. The lessons were clear. Be prepared, have a plan, and rely on your community. Blair exposed vulnerabilities but also showcased strengths. Decisive leaders, heroic responders, and everyday citizens stepping up. In the end, storms pass, but how we respond defines us. Blair was a formidable opponent, but it was met with determination and compassion. As extreme weather becomes more common, these qualities will see us through. Together we can face whatever winter brings, and that's a forecast we can all believe in.